saying, yesterday, backstage, I was just doing something. I was putting more wrinkles on my face because I was like, I need to, the sweat's washing it away. For Nana. And I just looked up and this one here's going. I was like,
I was doing one of my laughs as the character.
That's silent. That's silent laugh.
Looking at what it looked like.
How long have you been acting?
I've been acting for 41
for
years.
Real?
I started in 1983 when I was 18.
How old
was I joined at Shopfront Theatre. However, my last year of high school, I did a production of Guys and Dolls. It was year 12.
Oh, you...
And yeah, I started at Shopfront 41 years ago. What about you?
Oh, God, I'm terrible with numbers. I started in 97. Not as long as you have, but...
Wow, yeah. Only because
I've always known about
date. I'm crazy about dates and numbers and things like that, which is weird.
Yeah, I'm not. My timeline is before Jala and then there's after Jala. Aww. So that's how it works for me.
Oh. Jala, your daughter, bless her.
Yeah.
What are you going to miss about the SBW Stables Theatre when you take your final bow at the end of the Lewis Trilogy?
I like to think of it as, we all grow up, we all move on, we all move on and do different things. And I suppose it's the same for buildings as well, I think it's, going to have a bit of a grow up or a glam up. And yeah, as long as the stage is still here.
Yeah, because you worked here a lot, haven't you?
No, I've only done, what shows have I done? I did Nailed. That was my first show.
First ever show?
Oh, no, first ever show here at
right.
the stables.
Mm-hmm.
And it was based in a stable as well, that particular play.
Wow.
Shari for Black Showgirls. And then this, I think. But I feel like I've been here a lot more. It's odd. I feel like I've done more.
And you've probably seen heaps here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful spaces. I love this space. But we'll miss its little, the charm of, I guess, how old it is. I mean, look at those walls.
I know.
I just love them when they started to strip it back. That's beautiful. And I love these old floorboards. So what are you going to miss about?
Well, I'm funny because I don't want them to touch the building physically because I'm a real, I like to preserve history.
Yeah.
I'm like that about the whole country. I'm like that when I go to Melbourne or Adelaide, but particularly Sydney.
Yeah.
Because I'm from here, and when I hear that something's going to get demolished, or I understand we need to do things. The venue needs to have a lift. We need to have bigger. We know, you and I know, we need a bigger.
I'm not going to miss the dressing
room.
rooms.
Oh, love.
Or that toilet.
Or the toilet. I mean, look. When you're doing a one-person show, when I've done Angela's Kitchen, that dressing room is debauchery. I mean, you could throw things around if you wanted to. But with 8 of us, I mean, you and I know what it's been like.
Yep.
It is like traffic. Sorry. And those quick changes, so things are flying, costumes are going here and there.
Yeah.
But it's the wood. And I also believe old theatres hold spirits. And I think there are lots of spirits here. There's spirits from audience, there's spirits from actors. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I talk to them sometimes. I'm like, help me with the show tonight because I need energy. And I do that with a lot of venues because I just feel like there's something lingering.
Yeah.
So only the history. So I hope not too much of the original goes.
Yes.
And Louis Nowra talked about that in an interview about our shows and just about generally what it's like to be in this space. And you do feel, don't you? I mean, you feel like people can see through you or look through you and you can't hide anything. So when I've gone up and I've corpsed, the person in the back, everyone goes silent. They're like, oh, love, she's become very unprofessional.
I thought you were going to say unhinged.
Well, I've had, and for me, the most unhinged, that's right. But Angela's Kitchen, my play about my grandmother, which is, it changed my life.
Yeah.
Doing that. And I did 2 seasons here. And this theatre, was the first theatre that I know of that drew a large Maltese community in Australia, New South Wales, to this venue to see a play about Malta or Maltese people, which had not happened in the history of Australian theatre.
That's so important, people getting that representation, you know. Yeah. I was the one who was going, who wants to hear about my Maltese family? And Julian Merrick was the one who said, well, it wouldn't be just about your family, it'd be about migration, the big wave of migration that happened in Australia. Yeah. And so this place is a place I remember people bawling their eyes out, laughing so hard they choked. I can tell you the lady was there. She laughed so hard at the end of my family scene that it went into a choke and I had to stop the show. And people were patting her on the back and, "Are you all right, love? Do you want a glass of water?" Yeah, just incredible things like that. Yeah. All right.
Oh, so the question is, what do you love about acting at Griffin?
It's this particular space, and it's frightening at the same time. Like there's one scene in the trilogy where the lawn has been levelled, and that's that scene. And I only say two lines in that scene, but Declan had asked us to, you know, look out as if we're looking at the garden. But it's so hard because people are there, and I'm like,
yeah, they're so
like, I don't know where to look because I'm looking at you, and I have to pretend I'm looking at this garden. But
Summer of the Aliens, yeah,
and Summer of the Aliens, yeah. So yeah, I mean I love it, and I also find it still, after 20 odd years, very confronting being so close. But I love it as well.
I actually like eyeballing people, weirdly. Because I have to do it as well. Yeah. In Summer of the Aliens, I have to do this, the rifle range. But when I'm up there and I'm doing Roy's speech, and I'm really loud, I guess, and I look right at people.
Oh, well, that gives you the permission, I think, though. You can kind of yarn with people. That particular scene kind of steps out of the reality of, you know, what's going on here.
Yeah, but there's no other theatre. I mean, I've worked in just about every theatre in Australia. There is no place that is like this place.
No.
That is so intimate, so close, and you know when people are uncomfortable, they move, or if they're judgy about the show or they don't like, you know, you feel it, and you just we have to just work with it, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, that's that one.
All right, what are some of the challenges about acting at Griffin?
The feeling like they see everything. That's a challenge.
Yes.
You know, and also if you're in a bad mood or you're tired.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the thing is, I've learnt so much because I feel lucky that I've worked here a lot. So I feel like it's knowing how to feel energy and how much of that energy do you need today. Yeah. You know, like I've got to hit that wall and I've got to hit that wall and I will adjust. So in this theatre, I love that I can play with volume.
Yeah. You can be a bit more intimate. I think the challenges that I found both as an actor and a director is the space and blocking has been one of the harder things. So you can block it in the rehearsal room, but you always have to adjust it slightly when you get into the space. Even if you've worked in it, it's just always a bit of, you know, there's some sweet spots, as we all know, those sweet spots if we work here a lot. Yeah. And then, and the thoroughfare, I guess, is what I call this area. It's like I try not to stay stagnant in this area because...
That's so true.
Yeah. Have you had any memorable moments over the years at Griffin, either as an actor or as an audience member?
All right. Well, I talked extensively about performing, but as an audience member, again, so many powerful moments in this space. Yeah. I mean, too many to mention all of them. Yeah. But definitely the first production of Holding the Man. I was sitting just there, second row, I think, maybe first row, and all I know is I sobbed. I was embarrassed because I sobbed so much. Yeah. I was so affected by that first production of Holding the Man.
But isn't that lovely? Like when you see something and you are so moved by it. I prefer to be moved, whether I'm angry or, you know, I get really upset. I don't want to walk out of a theatre going, yeah.
I know.
So, yeah.
And a lot of
it's
theatre
nice.
is like that, unfortunately, isn't it, lately? But
what's nice about this, I guess what's nice about the stables is that you really do feel like the emotions of the actors, like what they're going through, and you're on that roller coaster ride with them, and it's also intimate, and I think that's what's so special about this space. When my daughter and I came and saw White Fella Yellow Tree, this fella, yellow fella, White Fella Yellow Tree, and I'd worked on, I'd done a workshop on it while...
Dylan.
Well, yeah, Dylan, it's Dylan's play.
I know who he is.
But I remember I worked on it as an actor, just reading. I think this might have even been during COVID. And I really loved the play. I thought, oh, this is going to be really wonderful to see on the stage. And yeah, I brought my daughter Jala along, and she was just raving about it. She was like, oh my God, Mum, that was just fantastic. I really loved it. You know, and it really speaks to that kind of younger, it really spoke to a younger generation.
Wow.
And she totally got it. And
I wish I'd seen that.
yeah, it was a great piece. I really loved it. I think we're so lucky to be working in this particular field, I guess, because we get to feel so much.
Yeah.
You know, so much more than what other people feel. And so
Yeah.
I know that I'm constantly bringing her in and watching things. And I know she loved
I think it's so
the
great
trilogy
that you
as
do
well.
that, because I think theatre is education. It is an education.
Education.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the powerful moment in the theatre is Maine Wyatt in his play. But anyway, you know the speech I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the speech.
When
yeah.
he did it, he even did it on Q&A.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there going, this is a great moment of theatre.
Ah, yes.
Because it just created this immense power from him, and emotion and understanding and truth telling.
Yes. Yes.
You know, like this is being said in public out so everyone can hear it. So lots of things, a lot of plays here, lots of incredible, I can't give you all the names of the plays.
No, I can't. I'm trying
just
to
things
remember.
have stayed with me.
Yeah.
Images. I saw William Zappa here in the nude doing a play, completely standing right here in the nude. And I remember going, whoa, what a brave actor to do that.
In this space, yeah.
In this space,
yeah.
where you, every bit of
God.
hair and
Yeah.
nook and cranny, love.
Actually, one of my memorable moments, speaking of, was actually working with Stevie Rogers, and we did, oh, come on, Ursula, I played, I was Barbara for almost a full year, because I was also doing Barbara and the Camp Dogs.
You were doing that at the same time?
There was a little crossover at some point, but...
Oh my God.
like rehearsals and then show. So I did Diving for Pearls. Just speaking of bloody nudity.
Oh.
My costume caught onto, I think, his pants, and I was meant to just walk, you know, down his body like that, and we're both lying down.
Oh no.
And it caught him, and it started to come down. And he was like, oh, like, don't pull that any further because you're going to see things. And I kind of saw it, went, oh, and I came back up, and we continued on with this scene. But later on, he was like, oh my Lord, you were going to see my drapes then.
Oh.
And that was when I forgot I did that show here too, but I'll always remember that, and just, the laughs, the fun, even though it was such a full-on piece as well. But yeah, the people that...
Is that by Catherine Thompson?
Catherine Thompson, yeah. Last question.
Oh my God. Oh.
Why did you want to be an actor in the first place?
I had a moment of derangement. I have no
and
idea.
you've still not come out of it?
Clearly, she had a coffee that day or something. She was all excited. And when the harsh reality hit, well, it was too late. Blink, and 41 years later, she's still in it.
I love it. It's an interesting question because Like I've
Well,
been
wasn't the
backstage. No, I've been backstage with you, and in, you know, in the dressing rooms, and it's always interesting. I just go, but you've always been a creative soul, and you talk about your family a lot, and I feel like you're the only one in your family that seems to have kind of, you know, gone off in this totally different direction.
Yeah, I am. But this is unreal. I never, when I started 41 years ago, if you told me we'd be here, you and I, on this stage, talking like this, I would not believe you. I mean, I wanted to be a rock singer. I wanted to be I don't know about you, because we're both singers as well.
Yeah. Well, my dad always says it's not too late until you're in the ground. So
I say amen to that to your dad.
Then when you're in the ground, now it's too late.
Oh, no, well, I am a rock singer when I'm doing my shows. Even though I might be in places this size, to me it's Rod Laver Arena. I'm like, I'm giving it. Like,
you're doing what you've always wanted to do.
That's it. Yeah. It doesn't matter on the scale.
Love it. For
what
me,
about for you?
I have no idea. I think I fell into acting. I always wanted to be a singer, like you. And then I got my first kind of professional gig at Belvoir, straight out of the Aboriginal Centre Performing Arts in Perth. Neil had come over and he was looking for some actors, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. And, you know, it was weird initially, and I kind of grew to really love, acting. More so theatre, even though it's exhausting and far. I feel like you put in more into the theatre, but...
Theatre is not for the faint-hearted.
No.
Let's be honest. I mean, to do something 9 times a week like we do, like you've never done it before, like you've never said those words before, with different audience, in different audience, over-enthusiastic audience, which we love.
To do it 9 times a week, you have to be on some kind of mental health medication.
Mental health.
I'm kidding.
But you reminded me of something actually before regarding in this question. One of the reasons for me was not so much that I wanted to sing, but the whole thing of theatre and being an actor was representation, because I felt like I didn't see enough wogs.
Yes.
On TV, on the stage, and I'm talking, 41 years ago when I started. This wasn't a thing. So that was another thing. I was determined. And also back then, gay, feminine gay, which is even worse, a bigger crime, and I had everyone say to me, you'll never be on the stage because of this, this, and this list was like, and I went, well, then I better go on the stage.
And I'm glad you're here.
Bless me too, darling. Glad you're here.